Moscow's falling apart, streets are dead, shelves are bare, and Russia's economy straight up collapsing. You won't believe what's happening inside the Kremlin right now. Moscow, man, it's like a ghost town now. Streets that used to buzz with energy are eerily silent. Malls echo with emptiness. Shoes, clothes, even basic groceries vanishing from shelves. Ordinary Russians struggling just to keep food on the table. 40% of Moscow's retail spots are closed in 2025. That's nearly half the city's commercial heartbeat gone. And it's not just a numbers game. Behind these shuttered doors, millions of people are staring at empty aisles, forced to make impossible choices every single day. Shoes or bread, clothes or milk. The math doesn't add up. And the government's temporary fix, food vouchers. Yeah, you heard that right. Russia's thinking vouchers will patch a system that's crumbling from the inside. For decades, the Kremlin flexed like they were untouchable, preaching self-sufficiency. Russia produces it all. We don't need anyone. Jokes on them. That narrative is shattered. Imports now outpace exports by $3.8 billion, with agricultural imports surging 15% in 2025. The country that bragged about feeding the world can barely feed itself. And the war? Don't even get me started. Every night, billions of dollars go up in smoke in Ukraine. Missiles, drones, artillery, all funded at the expense of regular Russians. Streets empty, wallets empty, stores are empty, families are struggling. This is the harsh reality that propaganda won't show you. Retail collapse isn't confined to Moscow. Across Russia, people are cutting spending down to bare essentials. Clothing and footwear shops, family-run stores, shutting down. Small and medium-sized businesses can't keep up with rising rents, higher taxes, and declining demand. Even companies that once operated comfortably above the tax line are being crushed. The system is squeezing them out, and every closure sends a ripple across neighborhoods, towns, and cities. Transport costs are skyrocketing, oil prices are through the roof, and logistics, a total nightmare. Russia's vast territory, once a supposed advantage, is now a liability. Moving goods across the country is insanely expensive, inflating prices on everything, from bread to gasoline. Meanwhile, the ruble keeps tanking, domestic salaries can't keep up, and ordinary people are being forced into survival mode. And agriculture? Don't even get me started. Once a source of national pride, now a sector struggling under mismanagement, import dependence, and skyrocketing costs. Food prices are soaring. Grocery store lines are longer than ever. Small agricultural enterprises are folding one by one. Government vouchers are a slap in the face. Temporary relief that doesn't touch the systemic collapse happening right in front of everyone's eyes. Even Russian media, long censored and controlled, is starting to spill the truth. Analysts, ideologists, and even die-hard Kremlin supporters are warning internal unrest could hit at any moment. People who were once apolitical are waking up to the consequences of ignoring politics, blindly trusting a system that prioritized image over reality. And now, the reality is hitting hard. Military spending is bleeding the budget dry. Every missile fired, every drone launched, every attack abroad costs billions. That's money that could have gone to keeping grocery stores stocked, paying salaries, maintaining transport, or stabilizing energy prices. Instead, it's disappearing into war machinery, while ordinary citizens feel the pinch every single day. If this breakdown is shocking you as much as me, smash that like button and comment below. Let's get this truth out there. The social pressure is insane. Gasoline prices, already sky high, make transport nearly impossible. Delivering basic goods inflates costs exponentially. Empty shelves aren't just a symbol, they're the reality. People are forced to make impossible choices daily. Pay rent or buy groceries, school fees or medicine. Families are caught in a cycle that keeps getting worse. Taxes are hitting small businesses like a hammer. Companies with turnovers of just 10 million rubles now face tax brackets once reserved for giants. Shops, restaurants, farms, all crushed under weight they weren't built to handle. Even temporary government interventions like subsidies or vouchers are nothing more than band-aids on a sinking ship. The human cost? Unimaginable. People who once trusted the state now watch as every promise turns hollow. Empty malls, shuttered businesses, soaring food prices, and queues stretching for blocks. Every day, ordinary Russians confront the consequences of economic mismanagement, military overreach, and global isolation. This is not just a failing economy, it's a societal breakdown. Moscow's streets, once full of life, are now silent witnesses to a perfect storm. The narrative of self-sufficiency, power and invincibility, gone. The image of a thriving superpower, replaced by fragility, dependence and domestic hardship. From shattered malls to failing farms, from empty wallets to skyrocketing prices, every corner of Russia tells the same story. The government, scrambling with vouchers, tax adjustments and temporary measures, only highlights how deep the rot goes. Russia is now living a reality where survival, not prosperity, is the new normal. And if this continues, the fallout isn't just economic. It could shake the entire social fabric. And it's not stopping there. The ripple effects hit every Russian household. Schools are feeling the pinch, hospitals running low on supplies, and even basic utilities are on shaky ground. Families are skipping meals just to make rent. Kids go to bed hungry while their parents scramble to find work or stretch every ruble. The streets aren't just empty, they are a mirror of frustration, fear and uncertainty. People who once believed in stability now whisper about what happens if this crisis spirals further. Social tension is simmering everywhere, from Moscow high-rises to remote villages. The government's temporary fixes are barely holding the cracks together. Vouchers, subsidies, tax changes. They're like throwing a cup of water on a forest fire. The real problem, structural collapse, economic fragility, and the population slowly losing faith in the system. Every empty shelf, every shuttered store, every sky-high price tag is a reminder. The Russia we once knew is disappearing before our eyes. And unless something changes, this crisis is going to get worse, hitting even harder than what we've seen so far. Prices are spiking like crazy. Gasoline, electricity, even everyday bread, you name it. Families are juggling impossible choices, and millions of Russians are now forced to survive day by day, often going without the most basic necessities. Small businesses, gone. Cafes, shops, family-run stores, they can't keep up. Rent, taxes, supply costs, they're buried under a mountain they can't climb. And when businesses fall, jobs disappear, feeding a vicious cycle of hardship and despair. Even neighborhoods once considered safe are feeling the pinch. Public transport, healthcare, and community services are strained. Moscow's bustling energy is replaced by a sense of unease and anxiety, like the city is holding its breath, waiting for the next blow. The bigger picture, Russia's economy isn't just fragile, it's teetering on the edge, and with the government hemorrhaging billions on military operations abroad, ordinary citizens are left to pick up the pieces. Every day, every ruble, every empty store reminds them. The system that promised stability is failing. And the worst part, everyday Russians are paying the price for mistakes they didn't make. Empty shelves, sky-high prices, and jobs disappearing. This is the new normal. The system's collapsing around them and there's no quick fix in sight. Families are scraping by, skipping meals, just to survive another day. Small businesses, crushed under taxes, rising costs and shrinking demand. Moscow's streets tell the story. Chaos, struggle, and the system on the brink. For more deep dive updates on Russia's collapse and the real story behind the headlines, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Don't sleep on this. Stay woke, stay informed,